recently I watched Sir David Attenborough's series, Our Planet, and I watched his speech, and I was blown away by the statistics and the seriousness of what we have actually done to the planet and our human carbon footprint that we have put the entire species on the planet through. I mean, from insects to bees to the migration of animals. I mean, it's really what we have done as humans has affected the entire ecosystem.
Yes, exactly. And you know what I loved about he was at that premiere, hey, of
Our Planet, correct.
And the one thing that I took out of there, he says, few people will protect the natural world if they don't first love and understand it. And so true, hey, because we need to ensure we educate ourselves on this earth. I mean, after all, it is our home, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And ecologically, humanity has been noted as an unprecedented global super predator. I mean, we are the biggest predator on the planet. That's pretty scary stuff. He also mentioned that for the next 2 years there will be a United Nations decisions on climate change, sustainable development, and a new deal for nature. So what we do now in the next few years will profoundly affect the next few thousand years.
Yeah.
So it's basically a decision that's going to be made now in the next 2 years will affect us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So if we don't make the change now, it can never be undone.
Absolutely. But you know what? There's not enough people thinking and educating themselves about this on a daily basis.
I absolutely agree with you 100%. We kind of think that it's everybody else's problem to try and sort it out, but it starts with each and every single one of us. We are the ones personally that need to make the change in our lives to start reducing our carbon. Right now we are in the midst of the Earth's 6th mass global extinction. I mean, that's serious. He says one every bit as profound as and far-reaching as that which has wiped out the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So it's almost impossible to grasp, I know, as we go about our daily lives, but that the rest of life and on Earth is experiencing destruction on a scale that is wrought by a colossal asteroid collision.
Yeah.
I mean, my hair's standing up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how serious this matter is.
Absolutely. But everybody goes about their daily lives.
Exactly,
and,
like you know.
Yeah, sort of not thought about or
Exactly.
everything's cool, we'll still live another few years.
Exactly. Got me the most. It was, he said, 96% of the mass of mammals on our planet today are us and the livestock we've domesticated.
Domesticated. Yeah.
96% of the mass of mammals on our planet today are us and the livestock we've domesticated. And the other 4% is everything else. From your elephants to your badgers, to your tigers, your bats. That's serious. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
That's just massive. Like, wow, that's just factory farming, and no wonder there are so many carbon emissions, and our ozone layer is burning holes through for the sun to come in and destroy as well. There's 70% of all birds are now domesticated poultry, and mostly chickens. It's
These are
figures
amazing
are scary.
facts, guys. These are really amazing facts, and they are facts.
Yeah.
They're very true facts. Yeah.
And nature once determined how we survive, and now we determine how nature survives.
That's correct.
Our Planet, I got to the second part, and I was watching. The first bit is everything about how the insects and the birds and all the small little animals play a fundamental role of how the ecosystem works. And you know, we were talking the other day about the pangolin on Tuesday.
Yes.
I know, and the pangolin is 40 million years old, and it's about, in our lifetime, it's about to go extinct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much damage we've done in our lifetime to affect our future generations.
And that time's gone now, we're not getting it back.
It's gone, exactly, it's gone. So just watching these cinematographers and the photographic work in the series showing these insects and animals and mammals that you've never seen before, and how one affects and snowballs into the other effect of how the climate is affecting their food, affecting their where they live, how they live, and they're trying to adapt. But a lot of the species, as you said, 200 species a day are dying out.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with what we are doing as humans on the planet, affecting their lifestyle. Now Greta, she's a very, she's an absolutely incredible little girl.
She's dynamic.
Wow, unbelievable. I was watching her, she did this TED Talk last night, and I was watching it on YouTube. I mean, she heard about climate change when she was 8 years old.
Yeah.
8 years old.
And she cared about it then.
Completely. I mean, this is an 8-year-old little girl. But it is a different generation to how we were brought up. And she literally, at the age of, she said she saw all this stuff happening about climate change, and she couldn't understand why nobody was doing anything about it.
Yes.
And by the age of 11, she started suffering with severe depression of what was going on in the planet. And they diagnosed her with a type of autism disease and ADHD. And she says that it gave her, she could only focus on one thing at a time. And this helped her to focus on climate change.
Sure.
And now she says that, she thinks there's many ways that the autistic people are normal and everyone else is strange because no one is doing. She's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, and that's fabulous. I mean, looking at it from that perspective to her makes so much sense.
Of course, yes, this 15-year-old girl telling us who has autism that, she's normal, we all weird because we're not doing anything about changing our climate and help saving our planet.
Yeah, she says, why are we not reducing our emissions? I don't believe people understand the concept of how much of a crisis there is in this entire world.
Yeah, no, incredible. And then she just decided one day that she's had enough, and she decided not to go to school, and she got a whole lot of friends together and they stood outside Parliament in Sweden and she started protesting for climate change.
Yeah.
She really is, I mean, she's made an impact all over the world, and with all the school children are kind of following suit. And she said, well, why must I go to school if there is going to be no future for our generation of children? I'd rather us, if the adults don't want to make the change and save, the children will take a stand and save the planet themselves.
Absolutely, the new generation. I mean, they say Sweden needs to reduce emissions by 15% per year. What about South Africa?
Gosh, I actually went onto the government website yesterday, and I was looking at the statistics for the water.
Yeah.
Because they say that she also talks about the global effect of the poorer countries. Like you're talking about Sweden.
Yes.
She said that it affects the poorer countries because the rich countries are not bringing down their carbon emissions. So it doesn't give the poorer countries time to actually come up and do what they need to do to be able to build hospitals, libraries, and educate people in water resources and electricity. And Cape Town, as you know, is suffer with electricity and with water.
Yes, badly.
So I looked on the government website, and the last year I saw that a lot of our water was going to clean abattoirs. 20% it was when I saw last year, to clean the floors of abattoirs of our water. And there's gallons, 5,000 gallons or 10,000 gallons that goes into making 1 kg of beef. So I went in to see what the latest statistics are. They've taken it off the government website.
No
so
ways.
now they're actually promoting agriculture as in eating more dairy and eating more meat, which I thought was quite interesting. So we are a little bit behind on that side of things.
I think so.
The ocean pollution, as you said, is also a huge.
I hate watching those programs, and you have these turtles,
Yes,
and
all
they
stuff.
put that plastic out there. Now I don't like
But you
it.
know what that plastic is, and I did some research on that. It's okay. There's a lot of the stuff that we're throwing into the rivers, and the rivers are running into our waters. But the main plastic problem that is actually strangling and choking the sea life is from fishing nets.
Fishing nets.
From fishing nets, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, the fishing nets.
So now, how the heck are we going to get that sorted out?
Well, that's another problem. We're also fishing our oceans out of
That's for sure,
all the sea life. And recently, as you know, I was in Israel, and I did scuba diving for the first time in Eilat, and it was very noticeable. How the coral has died out. So, the coral should be rich and colorful and vibrant, and you can see the effects of climate change. I mean, even scuba at one certain section, and there were like little bubbles coming up from the sand. And I was saying to the instructor, when we got out of the water, I said, well, what was that? She said, I don't know what that is. Something is coming from the earth. So, it's really, really serious. And the fish and everything were beautiful and colorful, but not a lot of.
Yeah.
And
it's these small little changes that we're noticing, hey?
Correct.
But soon it might just become much bigger in a short space of time.
Yeah. The good news is there are some ways that we can reduce and lower our carbon footprint, and taking the first steps to save our planet. Say no to air travel. Now that's a difficult one.
How would you have gotten to Israel?
I don't know. Beam me up, Scotty. Well, they say magic is real, so abracadabra.
Yeah. Then we've got eat less meat.
Yes,
Oh gosh,
that's-
beef and lamb.
Yep.
I don't
Speaking
know
of
about
being
anybody
healthy.
else. I do like my meat and I do like lamb.
No,
eh?
I know. Well, no, I don't know. I'm vegan.
Yeah, so you don't. Yeah. So we're gonna have to go over to chicken then.
Well, they say 70% of the bird life is
Yeah.
is poultry. So there's also a lot of water being used to make chicken.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
you know, ideally the way to go is, and I'm not pointing being vegan, but
Yeah.
being vegan is the way to go.
Is the way to go. Yeah. It's more healthy and I
Correct.
suppose that's all the green leafy stuff
Correct.
and the natural products.
Yes.
Consume less overall, so buy less stuff. Oh gosh, buy less stuff. A single t-shirt may have caused emissions equal to 2 or 3 days power consumption. What?
Yes. Now, as you know, I'm in the men's fashion business, but
Yes.
when you buy good quality clothing, it lasts. But when you go and you buy like a t-shirt for $2, you know you're going to wear it for one season and then you're going to bin it.
That's
So
true.
that's how that is
It's very true.
impacting the environment, because you always go for let's go for the bargains, and then you wear it for one season and you throw it in the bin. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
And another big thing for me is I've got about 40 bags, eco-friendly bags in my boot. So when I go shopping at any of the grocery stores, I take my bag with me. I don't buy any plastic.
Ah,
So
right.
no plastic bags, because
Yeah.
they're just contributing to, you know, the plastic
Absolutely.
crisis that we have at the moment.
Hashtag conservation conversation.
That's quite a tongue twister.
It's a
that
tongue
one.
twister, I'm telling you.
Conservation conversation.
Gee whiz. Say that 3 times.
Conservation conversation, conservation conversation, conservation conversation. I did
No
it.
ways. Okay, you should be in my seat then.
Meat-free Monday. You know,
Yes.
maybe make like 2 or 3 days meat and dairy free and start cutting back that way. You know, going vegan overnight. You know, it's
You know what they say? If we can, as humans, collectively change just 30% of our diet and sustainability outlook, we can just make that little bit of a dent.
absolutely, absolutely.
And that's what we need just to start.
Exactly. And then the other thing is, I mean, when you do eat healthily, you don't get sick.
Yes, that's very true.
And there's so much chemicals that have been put into our food these days, in milk, in dairy, and in the meat, that's what causes 95% of the diseases on the planet is that.
Very true.
So
Very
the cycle is continuous. So just eat more veggies and healthier vegan 2 years, and it has completely changed my life.
And your energy.
Oh, it's through the roof. I mean, as you
Yeah.
can see, I'm bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So am I when you're around. And I'm not even vegan. So it's giving me those emissions.
It works with all of your senses as well. So, you know, you become more creative. I sleep better at night. You know, no suffering with depression and all those kinds of things. And of course, I haven't been sick or had flu for, my gosh, I can't even remember. So I want to leave you, and I'm all about stepping out of my comfort zone. I do not like the box. So if I feel like I'm boxed in
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm comfortable, I make sure that I'm outside my comfort zone, because that's literally how people grow and how things happen in life, is
Yes.
being out of your comfort zone. So I want to leave you with this. We can't save the world by playing by the rules, because the rules need to be changed, and it has to start today.
Thank you so much. Love having you here in the studio. Really,
you,
really
Tabitha.
love it. Thank you so much for today. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for your amazing work and for being so special and unique. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.